Welcome back to The Inspired Entrepreneur with Heather Hope. Hey everyone, welcome back to The Inspired Entrepreneur podcast with me, Heather Hope. How is your day? How's your day? I don't even know how to start this anymore. Happy Tuesday, March 2nd. We are in the new month. Can you believe it's March? Can you believe it's Tuesday? I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to see. Okay, I think March 1st was right in the middle of this. Like, it's been 6 months since I started this podcast. And I am feeling a change going on. I am one who loves change. I love expansion. I love, and it's weird because, astrologically, I'm a Taurus. Whether this means anything at all, but you know what I mean? Tauruses are famous for being stubborn and sticks in their routines and they never like change and they never do anything and all that stuff. And I'm pretty opposite of that. I'm not. I was talking to a friend recently about they thought Tauruses were stubborn, and I'm like, I don't think we're stubborn. We just don't like people telling us what to do. And so when someone tells me what to do, I literally will not do that. And sometimes I will do the opposite. I just get really pissed off about that. Anyway, so I don't think it's being stubborn. It's just we don't like to be being told what to do. We're bulls. It's like we decide what we want to do. We're very certain about that, what we want. And when somebody tells me, anyway, it's totally irrelevant. So, okay, so we're going to see. I'm just thinking of some ideas. I know I combined February 28th and 29th since there is no leap year this year, but my book includes leap year. I included both of those in one. So today, thinking about this, what I want to do going forward, I'm thinking about doing a weekly podcast instead of a daily. I don't know. I'm feeling it out because as things get busier in my other business and then busier in my other one, it's hard to do a daily podcast, let me tell you. So, and after, like I said, I like expansion, so I don't like doing the same thing over and over and over. It is painful for me. I like changing things up. I like moving things around. I like completely restructuring things. I like moving. I like all these things because I don't like doing the same thing every day. That's why I don't go to a job. So anyway, that's enough of me mumbling, but let's see how we do. I don't necessarily have the time or the energy tonight. I'm recording this Monday night to do a full week in this episode because it's just a thought that came to me recently. So I'm playing it out. So I'm letting it percolate, I guess, marinate of what I want to do moving forward. But I honestly don't see myself doing, and it's funny because I just recently, and it's usually when I touch a subject just in passing, it ends up being something. And it's really crazy because I used to never, I would never look ahead of oh my God, I have so much more, right, of episodes. And then I said it a couple times. And now it's become a thing. Now it's oh, I'm 6 months in now of a year-long supposed podcast. And now it's wearing on me. You know what I mean? When you do the same thing all the time. And it just kind of it's a lot. Most people do weekly podcasts. Anyway, that's enough of me mumbling. But let's jump into today's. I think we're just going to do a couple short episodes and see where we go. Okay, so March 2nd, this is from the book, The Inspired Entrepreneur. And so check out the book. It's on Amazon. It is kind of like a fortune cookie of law of attraction for your business. So you flip to a page and it will give you a message of something to do. And so yeah, there you go. Okay, let's read it. Watch the things that you say because you are attracting those very things to you. Just like I said, right? I started talking about it and then soon it became something. Just because it happens to others does not mean it has to happen to you. You believing that it's how it is what makes it that way in your life. Change it to something that you do want. Okay, did we catch all that? My side commentary probably got in the way. I'm going to reread it. Watch the things that you say because you are attracting those very things to you. Just because it happens to others does not mean it has to happen to you. So often we hear other people's experiences and then we just think that that's going to happen to us as well. But it's not. And I tell this to people all the time of like, well, that's their experience. That's their experience. Doesn't have to be your experience. Doesn't have to be my experience. The only way that it can become our experience is if we start thinking that that's the way it is, or we just put any kind of focus on it. Like our focus is our superpower. So anytime you put your focus on something, you get more of that. It becomes a belief for you, an expectation. So you believing that it's quote unquote how it is what makes it that way in your life. So if you believe that if something is the way it is in life, that's just the way it is, that sort of saying, then that's the way it will be. So the point is, how is it that you want it to be? Like, how do you want things to be? And practice those thoughts. Eventually, you'll attract people who have created it the way that you want it to be. Because you're not that unique. There's, nearly 8 billion people on this planet. What I've learned is that we're not that unique. We're really not that unique. We're really not, right? We think we are. And then we meet people that are just like us. And we're like, oh, wow, that's pretty cool. Okay, so I'm not the original thinker of this thought. Like we meet people that have the same thoughts. We're like, okay, gotcha. That's why I don't like trademarking. If I go on a side tangent here, I really don't like the whole trademarking of sayings and words, and I really don't like it at all because nothing is really original. And to trademark something where people can't use a certain, couple words together is ridiculous with all these people on this planet. Like, come on. Anyway, that's just me. It's like I bought these words and you cannot use them. It's like, what is that? Okay. So you believing that it is how it is, that's just the way it is how it becomes in your experience. And I think this was something that I really finally learned, and I was like, oh, okay. So when we're in Facebook groups or listening to other people and they tell us, especially when they tell us their experience and like that is the way it is, right? And it's like, well, that's your experience. Like you literally created your reality. And I literally get to create my own reality. And your reality kind of sucks. So I know not to create what you just created. You know what I mean? And then hopefully we have people in our lives that are creating really cool stuff. And we're like, yes, that's what I want right there. Let's create that, right? But when people tell us, oh, it's so discouraging. Gosh, people can be, right? They tell us all the bad things. It's rare in my life. I had somebody say something to me last night and I was just like, whoa, because it wasn't even that bad. But you know what I mean? Like in my world, my bubble is so tight that I don't have anybody telling me what I should do in my life. I don't have anybody, literally no one. I have like one person that I kind of know who kind of does that, but it's the rarest thing that I even speak to this person. So it's like, it throws me off because I'm like, no one ever says you should do something. I'm like, I have gotten rid of everybody in my life that has, that sounds terrible, but like, I just don't. I live my life for me, period. And yeah, it's crazy. And it's peaceful. If you want peace, man, I have a lot of peace in my life because I don't have anybody in my life telling me what I should and shouldn't do in my life. No one, not a single person. So when I hear people, friends, whoever, say they have all these family members that get in their business, I'm like, hell no. Sorry, but I'm here for me. I'm here for me. I came into this world for me. And that may sound, and I don't really like this word at all, the word selfish. I don't like that word. I think it's got such a negative connotation to it that it's like, it's such a bad thing, right? But I did come to this physical manifestation of Heather to live my life. Now I get to choose who's in it. You know what I mean? Like I get to choose. And I did, at birth, I chose who my parents were going to be. I chose what all of this was going to be. But I also get to choose on a daily basis what I want, like who and what I want in my life. And I'm really picky about that because, I've learned the hard way kind of thing of, certain people in my life and, being a certain way. And now it's just peace. Now it's just, I am a happier person because I don't have weird people telling me their opinions about things. It's like, what is that now? Like, that's so foreign to me now. Anyway, so change it to something that you do want. Okay? Just because it happens to others does not mean it has to happen to you. There is no rules. Somebody said something to me, and I've said it a couple times. I said, I truly believe there are no rules in this world. It's whatever you believe them to be, right? You create your own reality. So there's no real rules. Now, you know, like you can be, do, or have anything you want. Now, I don't think you can like become a doctor overnight. You know what I mean? If you didn't get a medical degree, you probably can't be a doctor. Does that even make sense? But like, there are some things that you have to do because this society has created some rules around certain things, right? But overall, like there's a lot of things that slide. There's a lot of loopholes. Like loopholes are like one of my most favorite things. Loopholes. My husband and I were talking about that yesterday about loopholes. They're like, and he said they're like holes in the earth. They're like, or in the earth, but holes in the universe. They're like this thing where it's like, here's another way, here's another way, here's another way. I've always looked for loopholes because I've always found them to accomplish what I want to accomplish. And then I learned from Abraham, it's like basically just so many different ways. Like whoever said, if there is no way, a way will be created. That's how I see loopholes. Like sometimes loopholes are already there for you to find, and then loopholes are created as you're looking for them and have a desire. It's really cool. So believe in loopholes, and like if you want something bad enough, that desire bad enough, you'll find a way to get it. That's what I've that's my life philosophy for as long as I can remember. Like if I want something bad enough, I will always find a way to get it. Desire, right? Deep desire. Okay, so I'm going to let you go because this is going to be short and sweet. And I will be back tomorrow, guys. Bye.